The orbital med bay hummed softly around the human, named Ryan, as he stepped through its curved entrance. The alien palace guards had escorted him under heavy suspicion, but they had not dared to oppose their queen's direct command. Ryan moved. With caution, unsure why he had been summoned, unsure why a queen of a galactic empire would request a lone mechanic from a frontier research ship. He expected interrogation or blame, maybe even punishment, but the request that awaited him was something else entirely. The queen rested on an elevated platform shaped from glowing stone. Her figure was tall and regal, with shimmering markings flowing like soft currents beneath her skin. Her eyes followed Ryan with a strange intensity, as if measuring something she could not quite name. She wore no crown, only a thin robe draped around her form. Her back was uncovered, revealing a long wound burning with darkened fragrance and faint heat, like a scar made by energy blades. Ryan stopped a respectful distance away. He kept his hands visible, his posture calm. He had no interest in disturbing. A monarch recovering from battle. He simply waited for her to speak. The queen finally addressed him, her voice like low music, echoing through a canyon. She informed him that the wound on her back required delicate cleansing that only fingers of precision and intuition could perform. Her royal healers lacked such skill due to their physiology, and her culture had a strict rule. No one but a chosen partner could touch an open wound of a queen. Yet she had overridden protocol, claiming that Ryan alone was able to carry out this task. Ryan blinked. He knew of this species only through distant rumors. They respected strength, intellect, and loyalty above all else, but they kept their royalty, shielded from outsiders. He asked why she chose him. She simply said she could sense truth in him, a steadiness that reminded her of a forgotten legend from her people. She believed he would neither flinch nor misuse the trust required. He felt the weight of her expectation settle on him. He stepped forward, accepting the basin of luminescent liquid the healers handed him. As they withdrew, the queen lowered herself slightly, revealing more of the wounded area. The wound extended along her back like a long path carved by a burning comet. Ryan dipped the soft cloth into the glowing fluid. The scent rose like clean air after rainfall. He hesitated for only a moment, then began to clean the wound with gentle circles. The queen inhaled sharply, but she did not pull away. Her body trembled not from pain, but from the realization of what was happening. She whispered that only a partner would ever be allowed to do this. Ryan paused, unsure how to respond, but she told him to continue. He resumed the slow, steady movements. The glow of the liquid caused faint light to ripple along her skin. With each pass, the wound darkened less and the warmth calmed. Her breathing deepened with relief. She spoke softly during the process, revealing that the wound was inflicted during a sudden ambush by a rival royal faction. There had been no time to guard herself from a surprise strike meant to tear through her defenses. Her protectors had fought back, but she survived at great cost. Ryan listened in silence, respecting her story without interruption. Humans were known for many qualities across the galaxy, some exaggerated, some misunderstood, but one truth remained constant. When they listened deeply. He did not rush her. He did not ask for details beyond what she offered. He kept his focus on his task, ensuring each stroke soothed rather than irritated. When he finished, he applied the final layer of healing compound. It shimmered like crushed stars across her back. The queen let out a long breath, one that carried both relief and something more subtle. She turned slightly, allowing him to meet her gaze. She thanked him with a solemnity that carried the gravity of her entire throne. She said he had taken a role that only someone she trusted on the deepest level could fill. Ryan stepped back and bowed slightly, though he knew his culture had no rule about bowing to alien royalty. He did it because respect was universal. The queen straightened, testing the stiffness in her back. She said the wound would heal fully now, something the palace healers had not been able to guarantee. Ryan had given her a future of resilience rather than slow decline. When the healers returned, they scanned the wound and confirmed its rapid stabilization. They exchanged glances filled with curiosity and confusion, for they had never seen their queen allow such intimacy with an outsider. But they did not question her decision. The queen ordered everyone else to leave. Ryan remained uncertain but obedient. When the room had fallen silent again, she approached him with measured steps. Her gaze held a softness that surprised him, for she had carried a fierce aura just moments earlier. She asked him how humans handle trust, whether they valued it as deeply as her kind. Ryan answered honestly, saying humans did value trust, but did so in varied ways. Some protected it fiercely, others mishandled it. But when a human truly committed to someone, their loyalty became unbreakable. The queen studied him with thoughtful calm. She said that his hands carried sincerity she had not seen in decades. She asked why he had not looked away from her injury with fear or disgust. He answered that wounds told stories, and stories deserved respect. She seemed moved by this. She stepped closer until the space between them felt charged with unspoken understanding. She told him she sensed a rare energy in him, a mix of humility and resolve that resonated with her instincts. Her people were known for their ability to perceive truth in others. They evaluated not by appearance or rank, but by inner intent. From the first moment she saw him, she had identified an echo of something legendary from her culture. An old prophecy spoke of an outsider who would bring unexpected unity. Ryan felt slightly overwhelmed by her words, but he remained steady. He told her he was only a mechanic, not someone meant for legends. She disagreed. She said legends often began with ordinary individuals who acted with extraordinary sincerity at the right moment. Before she dismissed him, she placed her hand over her heart and bowed briefly, a gesture rarely given to anyone. She told him she owed him a debt that her culture did not take lightly. When he left the chamber, he felt the eyes of the palace guards on him, but their suspicion had changed into something like respect. The next day, the queen summoned him again. This time she wore ceremonial armor that glowed with quiet strength. Her posture was refined, but her eyes warmed when she saw him enter. She informed him that she had important matters to address, but wished for him to accompany her as an advisor, at least for that day. Though Ryan felt unprepared for such responsibility, he agreed out of courtesy. She led him through towering corridors adorned with carvings that depicted the history of her people. Ryan noticed symbols representing unity, strength, and triumph. After long struggles, the queen explained that her empire had endured great trials, yet division still threatened them. Some factions believed humans were unpredictable, too emotional, too volatile to trust. But she believed differently. She believed humans possessed unique, emotional depth that could inspire or even stabilize those who lacked such traits. Their walk brought them to a chamber where a council awaited. The members bowed to the queen, though some eyed Ryan with caution. The queen announced that her survival and rapid healing were due to the human standing beside her. Murmurs rippled across the chamber. She told them he had shown integrity unmatched by many who claimed loyalty. She then declared him an honorary friend of the throne, a title that usually required years of service. Council members questioned this bold move. They claimed trust should be reserved for their own kind or long-established allies. The queen responded firmly, saying that trust was not granted only through time, but through action. She stated that Ryan had performed an act of loyalty while expecting nothing in return. He had tended a wound that held deep meaning in their culture without exploiting the vulnerability. The council fell silent, for no argument could overturn the queen's word. She dismissed them once discussions ended. Afterward, she walked beside Ryan through the garden outside the council hall. The garden shimmered with bioluminescent plants that responded to her movements. She paused beside a glowing tree and looked at him with calm purpose. She told him that by cleansing her wound, he had woven himself into a bond that her people considered sacred. She assured him she did not intend to pressure him into fulfilling any cultural expectations. However, she wished him to understand that in the eyes of her empire, he was no longer a nameless visitor. He held a place of honor that carried both respect and responsibility. Ryan listened with quiet thoughtfulness. He said he appreciated the trust she placed in him, though he still viewed himself as an ordinary mechanic. The queen shook her head. Gently, she told him that extraordinary worth was rarely recognized by the person who possessed it. She had seen reaction, precision, and compassion in him that revealed strength far beyond physical skill. As the days passed, Ryan found himself invited to more royal functions. The queen often called upon him to observe political discussions or accompany her during diplomatic negotiations. She said his presence steadied her. Ryan began to understand how deeply the meaning of the wound ritual extended in her culture. Many viewed him as the queen's chosen confidant, someone who held a position closer than a general or scholar. One evening, while the sun of her world dipped,